Hello and welcome to my essay style video. My name is Jeanette and I chose to talk about inhalants. So, inhalants are legal substances that can be used in illicit forms. What makes these substances so dangerous is their availability to people of all ages with no limitations. Household items such as spray paint, air dusters, some forms of glue, even whipped cream canisters can be used by anyone in the home for illicit purposes, such as inhaling the fumes to experience a high. However, the practice of inhaling fumes from these household items can be deadly and affect some of the body's most important organs. Some of the most impactful pieces of media viewed while focusing on this subject include two online journals and one YouTube video. And each of these pieces displays the dangerous reality that comes with using inhalants for illicit purposes. Some interesting connections can be made between these pieces of media and the book Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. So Keefe writes about the Sackler family dynasty, which is the family behind Purdue Pharma, which produced an overmarketed OxyContin and played a huge role in the opioid crisis. The Sacklers covered up and ignored early evidence that OxyContin could be addictive, as well as some evidence that pharmacies were overselling the drug. And as people became addicted to the drug and overdoses continued to climb, the company used wealth and power to evade responsibility and continue promoting the drug for profit. So the first article mentioned was found on Psychiatric Times and discusses the 5 states that have laws concerning the consumption and sale of inhalants. So, as being only 10% of the United States have laws concerning inhalants, which include age restrictions on certain products that are sold within local retail stores, only 3 of those 5 states require schools to provide educational material to teach young people about the dangers of inhalants. This particular bit of information offers a connection to the book Empire of Pain, when the book highlights that even though there was compelling evidence that the drug OxyContin was being abused, there was little to no effort put forth by Purdue Pharma itself or any regulatory agencies to ensure the safe consumption of the drug. And a quote from page 395 of the Empire of Pain book states, when a federal agency finally sought to take on the opioid industry, it wasn't the FDA at all, or any Washington agency for that matter, but the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. In 2011, the CDC described the crisis of addiction and death that was sweeping the country as an epidemic. So, in this quote, Keefe depicts the situation at hand in that it had already become a full-blown crisis by the time any regulatory office decided to step in. Much like the facts surrounding inhalants, although legal, the substances in both examples are proving to have serious health consequences. The next piece of media was found on Channel News 3's website, and this short article states that the FDA is warning consumers not to purchase energy inhalants because they contain a toxic bundle of chemicals known as ammonia. And similar to the point above, although the FDA is aware of the potential health risks with certain products, they aren't really doing much in the way of preventing the distribution and abuse of said products. So the FDA could place safeguards on products like these and require companies to follow certain rules. However, by putting out this public statement within this article, telling consumers not to buy one of the many forms of dangerous inhalants is a lot like Purdue Pharma creating an OxyContin pill that doesn't crush in an attempt to stop consumers from snorting the drug. When statistics clearly showed that the individuals who were addicted to the drug were consuming it They were not consuming it by crushing it and snorting it or heating it to a liquid to inject it, but the majority of people addicted to OxyContin were consuming the pill orally, as was instructed. So both scenarios are examples of companies making it look like they're trying to prevent abuse of certain products without actually addressing the root of the issues. And the third piece of media, which is the YouTube video, tells the story of a young man who became addicted to inhaling the fumes from air dusters. And this piece of media is especially impactful because you get to see how someone's life was ruined by addiction. Oops. And this piece of media shows the other side of addictive substances, which is the general population who are affected most by the addictive products. In Empire of Pain, several families who had lost loved ones to overdoses and even individuals who beat addiction themselves read impact statements in court when Purdue Pharma faced criminal charges. Large industries, they tend to desensitize what regular everyday people think and feel. And the number of overdoses is just statistics to Purdue Pharma. And no one who benefits from the company's sales of OxyContin has to feel what the people who have lost something to the drug have to feel. Even when Purdue's own legal secretary, Martha West, became addicted to OxyContin, she was fired and then ignored by the company. So, these pieces of media show how the use of inhalants as an illicit substance has societal impacts, and these impacts are similar to those of other illicit substances such as prescription medication, depressants, and stimulants. And clearly, there's a need for further regulation of such substances to improve societal quality of life and the impacts that those have on crime.